Is it just me or the camera's just a bit wonky? Just a bit to the side. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to check. Ouch. Don't look at my sweatpants. Oh, yeah, it is. Uh-huh. Oh! That's the golden tickle right there, baby. It's kind of like the golden ticket. Much more amusing. Let's get into it. Woo! Is that how I want to start the show? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan, and I'm feeling so good to be here with you guys today. You think I'd be on something, but what I'm on is life. What I'm on right now is health. I'm feeling good. I am reaching that second gear, okay? And some people might stop me and they say, Tristan, second gear actually isn't all that fast. Second gear is for like 6 to 18 miles per hour. Well, it's faster than I've been going. I've been stopped. I've been parked. I've been in reverse. I've been going nowhere but the promised land, the dreamland of dreams, because all I've been doing is laying around and resting. But I'm back. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. I'm on top of things. I'm on top of life, discipline, health, work, okay? I was behind on some stuff for sure, okay? And it's hard because I couldn't record. I couldn't be the characters. I couldn't be all the things I needed to be, but I'm back, all right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That means nothing. But the point is, I'm back. Everything's feeling good today. I'm feeling good today. And I'm sorry you had to see me in my sweatpants, okay? I'm wearing this, okay? It's a sweater, but I think it adds a certain level of professionalism that I don't often carry out into the world. But when you see me in the sweatpants, you think, whoa, he's just relaxing, right? Sweater with jeans, that's a night out. Sweater with sweatpants, that's a night in. So, I didn't mean to break the illusion, but I also just got new sweatpants, and they're Sherpa, and I don't even really know what Sherpa is. I don't know where Sherpa comes from, but you can be Sherpa of this. It's one of the most comfortable things I've had on in a while. Guys, I'm happy to be here with you today. Man, it has been a minute. It's been a minute since I've felt... You know what? I think it's just when you have a little bit of symptoms, you got a little bit of cough, you can't laugh, you can't breathe, the congestion, right? I'm breathing fresh air and I'm putting, my air out. So it's just a different kind of cycle. It's a different kind of machine, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I've been sipping a little bit of this. It's actually just water. It's cold. That's something I like to do often as I carry around a coffee cup. Usually of milk or any sort of childish substance, and I like to pretend I'm an adult, and I like to pretend I'm drinking coffee, and people get annoyed, okay? Because I'm very insistent on telling them what I did, and they go, oh, it's hot, and I go, gotcha, and they don't really care for it, but you have to have fun in the world. I was talking to somebody recently, and I was just saying, you have to find the amusement in things, okay? Shifting that kind of perspective from I'm so slightly annoyed by everything to I'm so slightly amused changes your world, okay? And I think I was just talking to myself. I think I talk to myself so often that when I try to recall, where did I get that from? Where was that wisdom? Where was that sort of great advice? Like, who was the sage in my life that was bestowing upon me such just knowledge? It always ends up being me. So I'm glad to be my own best friend, and I'm glad to take care of myself. But point is, sipping this, it makes me feel like it's morning. But it's actually 2 a.m. That is not an accident, okay? That is actually very purposeful. Usually it's because we fell behind. Usually it's because things happened and we just have to record it at the very last second. This time, I actually waited as long as possible because here's the deal, man. In my efforts of health, in my pursuit of just grand yes, right? Yes! That's the kind of feeling I'm feeling. I ate so much food, man. All right. And if it looks like I've had a bit of salt, okay, I'm feeling a little bloated, feeling like I'm retaining some water, I feel like I'm retaining some fat. It's because I did. How much salt did I have? Don't ask me that. Okay. You never ask a woman her weight, and you never ask a man how much salt he's had. But the answer is a lot. All of it. I've had all the salt. I've had all the food. And somebody asked me recently, again, it might have been myself, but they said, what's your comfort food? And I said, of course. And they said, what? I said, oh, I thought you were asking, like, what's your comfort, food? Yes, it is. I love food. It's so comforting. But It brought me a lot of joy. It brought me a lot of peace, and I'm happy. I'm an eater, okay? What can I say? And some people say there's some interesting connotations of that word and that phrase, but I say, dude, I'm an eater. I'm going to eat, all right? And don't get on my back, all right? Because I'm going to get on you for not eating as much as I do.
I like to eat. Is that such a crime?
By the way, if this isn't evident enough, I'm an eater. But all the freaking decorations, we've slowly put some pieces back together. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling alive. Man, will I breathe at some point, but just give it some time. By the way, that's me, dude. I went to go see Santa Claus, and I'm not sure if he was the real one or not, but I will say this. I asked him to sit in my lap because, Santa's, he's taken a lot of, derriere, right? Santa, a lot of people are sitting on him. He's cramping up. He's giving out wishes. He's listening to demands. I went out there and I asked him to sit in my lap and tell me what you want for Christmas, Santa. How often it's always, what do you want for Christmas? It's never, what do I want for Christmas? So I wanted to take care of Santa, and just the absolute saint Nicholas that he is, he did not take me up on that. And I can't tell how I feel about it. Slightly disrespected, but also appreciative that he's so dedicated to his role. Oh, good for you, Santa. But also pass the mantle. I'm wearing plaid. I'm wearing red. I'm wearing the colors. You think I'm not festive enough to take the throne? All right? And honestly, I do know how I feel now. I'm pissed off. I'm coming for you, man. I'm a generous guy. When you die, which may or may not be an accident, guess who's going to be riding the sleigh? Me, because I'm a festive mofo, and I'm looking to give gifts and give cheer and give the holiday spirit. But guys, again, let's breathe because we can. I am happy to be here with you guys. So what have I been doing? Not a ton in the world. I mean, I have a little bit, but I've been trying to find interesting people. I really have. I ran into someone recently, and I don't know how interesting this is though, if I want to bring it up, because right now I feel like I'm fire. Speaking of fire, I guess this is a good segue to the person that I ran to. I was on a run. It was a walk, and I gotta slow down. When you feel like this is not second gear. All right. I am definitely speeding through a school zone right now. This is a calming podcast. You might be wanting to start your day with some cold water. And I just come at you screaming about how awesome I'm feeling. And you might be going, oh, what if I want to feel like that? So maybe I should breathe a little more and drop it down. But I don't want to freaking mince feelings. I'm out of 10. I'm at 1,000. But let's have a conversation. I don't want to have a screaming match where only you're receiving, right? What's the deal? Dude, I would love to be a trucker. I would just be talking constantly. They'd be getting free podcasts. They'd be getting free TED Talks, free conversation, free words of wisdom from me because, again, I'm so full of it. But anyways, let me slow down. Let me tell you what my week has been like. Going back to the fire things. I was out and about getting some fresh air. And I was listening to, doesn't really matter, Mean Street by Van Halen. It was actually quite a nice neighborhood. But as I'm walking by, I pause, because I never know if I'm going to get a nice little conversation out of somebody. And I'm looking for things, and I want to engage in the world. So as I'm doing that, this lady is walking by with her dog, and I say, that's a beautiful dog. Okay, not that creepy, but I was just yeah, that's a beautiful dog. I didn't drool more than the dog over. That's a beautiful dog. That would freak me out, especially because I don't have a dog. But I said, that's a very beautiful dog. And I was just trying to keep on walking. And then she said, I think my house is on fire. What? That was one of the points where, when you just kind of stop, and I was like, should I stop my music again? I don't know. Maybe I didn't hear that right, because that's not the response I was expecting. You know how often you engage in conversation and you throw something out and it's kind of like ping pong, it's tennis, it's a volley, ba, 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 ba. This is what I gave you. This is what you give me back. When I serve up, that's a beautiful dog, you say, thanks, have a nice day. Okay? I said, that's a beautiful dog. And you went, my house was on fire. Okay? That way, I stopped, turned around, I said, and it was kind of comforting in a way that I thought maybe she felt like we knew each other and she wanted to embrace me and bring me into this conversation. Like, oh yeah, you know where I live. You know how flammable my place is. And I thought that was very nice in a way, but also she was just kind of having a whole other conversation. And it started without any of the knowledge of what's your house look like? Where do you live? What's the deal? Sirens, ambulances. And then I hear, oh, she might be telling the truth. But it was amusing in that sense because I would catch up details. What do I have? Context. And it's something that I don't want to say all women do it, but I will say all the women in my life tend to do this, where they always start a story from the middle, which is great. It's fantastic for me, but I do like to listen. So I'm constantly asking questions when someone says, so I was just really pissed because of what he said. And I was like, right. Wait, what did he say? Wait, who's he? Like, Jim, after he said we couldn't go bowling after we left the place because it was on fire. I was like, right. You go bowling? And where were you? Ross dresses for less. Keep up, Tristan. And I'm always like so confused. But I feel like women tell stories the way I want to see movies, where you start right at the middle, peak of action, go, you're probably wondering how I got here. And then I like to backtrack because I'm, context McGee. But anyways, circling back now, speaking of that, yeah, she said her house was on fire. And I was like, part of me was also going like, is this a joke? Like my refrigerator's running, you better go catch it. So I still didn't know how to respond. I was still in the ping pong match of, what was that? What do you mean? I think my house is on fire. I was like, all right. What? I can't, I had no water on me. I had nothing to contribute. So I just said, really? I don't know. I didn't know what to say. And maybe that was the improper response. Maybe she was looking for more comfort, but she also didn't seem too worried about it. She just kept walking. She's like, I hear the ambulance. I was like, yeah, me too. And now she was like, I think it's over there. I was like, is that where you live? And I was also trying not to be creepy about it. I was like, well, where do you live? You're a beautiful dog. But she's like, yeah, I live right over there. And I think my house might be on fire. I was like, oh my gosh. Well, I hope it's not. I don't know. That was a really tough, it was just a different conversation. It was one that I've never navigated before. It's one that I hope to not navigate again. But prayers out to that woman's house. Hopefully it's not on fire. It was just, I don't know. It's not like we could see it. We couldn't see smoke. We couldn't see anything, but it was just a big leap. It was a big leap by her. But again, her dog was beautiful. So you can do what you want. You can do as you please. Other than that, man, I went to go finally get my car transferred into my own name. I was having some issues where I was getting pulled over, not for anything wrong that I was doing, but they would go, hey, you don't look like this Asian guy that I got the car from. And I go, I'm not. So I have, this is the freaking proof of the registration. And I was just riding my motorcycle for most of the summer. And so I finally went and got that taken care of, which is always a blast. People say the BMV, the DMV, whatever, isn't fun. You can make it fun. I strolled in there, again, with this kind of passionate energy that I was giving you because I'm feeling good. And I think maybe that was my ping pong serve, where they're like, we don't know what to do with this guy. So I was like a musical, and I'm busting out different song numbers. It was a melody, and they were annoyed. Let me say that. They were definitely bothered. But a couple people went, are you singing in the morning? And I was like, oh, yeah. And they were also annoyed. But it was nice to just kind of spread that sort of jovial wealth that I was sharing. I think somebody may have picked up on one of the songs. I don't know if they sang it with me, but they went, is that the song you're singing? I went, uh-huh. And they went, okay. Went back to their details. So anyways, easy transfer, except for the fact that the guy kept asking me how to spell my name, but he was holding my license and I couldn't tell if he couldn't read. So he's like, all right, so how do you spell Tristan? And I was like, is it because you don't believe it's me, or is it because you're having trouble? I feel like it's a standard font. I was like, T, he's like, come on, R, ISTIN. All right, so hold on. I was like, what is he? What? The picture, that's me on the photo. That's me. You think I'm so desperate to steal this old car that I'm going to come in here with a fake ID? And then I'm not going to memorize the name of the different characters of the license? I'm going to put a fake name on my own fake ID? Let it be me. So anyways, it was like I was getting carded with my own card. I was getting carded by me. He's like, I don't know if you're you. I was like, I am me. I swear it. Speaking of getting carded, dude, I didn't realize that you couldn't buy Dayquil. And maybe that's just because I'm out of the drug scene. Okay, you know me, the golden child, the golden boy. But I went to go get some Dayquil when I was having a couple of little symptoms, and they were like, can I see your license? And I went, oh, I'm going to have to spell it all over again. And part of it was like, all right, let me just freaking, memorize it. But the self-checkout wasn't available. I went to go get some Dayquil, and they're like, all right, let me see your license. And they're like holding it up, like, is it fake? Holding up to the light. Is that you? Again, granted, I had some salt lately, so I might be a little bit heavier in the photo. But I was like, yeah, it's me. So I bought the Dayquil, and then I figured out that I got the wrong one, right? Because I don't know a lot about medicine. I really don't. I saw it, and I was like, that looks like the symptoms. But it was whatever you call it, the cough suppressant, right? And I wanted an expectorant, or again, whatever you say. So I needed to go back to get a different Dayquil. And I went to it wasn't the same person, okay, but it was in the same freaking store. Like, the other employees saw me, and they're like, okay, card again. I was like, why? All right? Ask them, it's me. Why? I can't. I was too scared to spell my name again. I was like, I'm going to get it wrong, all right? It was the third time I was asked to spell my own name with my own identification. And it was just, look, don't get me wrong. Not only was I feeling good, and you could admit I got a youthful energy about me, but let's not act like I don't look like I'm 18, okay? I was freshly shaven. I understand. And I'm a spring frickin' chicken, a frickin' finger-licking chicken, spring variety, okay? Healthy is what I'm saying. I went to the doctor's as well, and he was like, dude, do you vape? Do you smoke? Do you drink? And I was like, no. He's like, when's the last time you had? I was like, I just said no. He's like, well, no wonder you're so healthy. Gosh dang it. He's like, do you have any addictions? Like, sometimes I pray too much. That's my worst habit. So then they hoisted me up to their shoulders like, healthy. Point is, I went through a lot of trouble to get the Dayquil. Okay, so if you're out there and you're trying to get some drugs, give up. Okay, because they are hunting. They are on lockdown. All right. Although I've never tried to get drugs. Maybe it's easier than getting Dayquil, but I can't even imagine. Why jump through so many hoops? All right. I just want to remove a cough. It's so tough. But the docs were impressed. The doctors, that is. I just look so young and so beautiful. As I was reading between the lines, they didn't say that, but I felt it. Other than that, dude, I went to go see the movie Die, My Love. It was with Robert Pattinson, one of the two for sure. I don't know if that's his full name because I don't have his little card in front of me. But if I did, I'd ask him to spell it. And Jennifer Lawrence. Whew, dude, almost forgot. Just saw the movie. Great movie. Very interesting. I will say, if you're going to go see it, there's a couple nude scenes. All right. It's a little bit risque. I won't even lie to you. I was looking up at the ceiling a couple of times because I'm a bit of a prude. And look, yes, you can argue that sometimes, maybe, that there are some sex scenes where it helps advance the plot and you need to see that and it connects emotionally. Maybe you could say that. But for this one, right at the beginning, didn't need to, right? The story's about her struggles as a wife and a mother. And they felt like they wanted to show the process of how that happened. And I don't think it needed to. There was no dialogue. It wasn't even like a straight scene. It was like cuts, flashes, booms with music. It was a music video. It was a montage of just some greasy pigs for no reason. And there's no world in which, if there's any sort of media literacy, and we're going to be able to figure this out and, decipher what's going on, I don't think anybody was going to, all right, stop the projector, stop the film. How did the baby get here? because I didn't see a full sex scene. I don't know how this happened. How'd she get pregnant? Did we skip the stork? You know, I don't think that was necessary. And I feel like there's a lot of that in some movies. And maybe that's just me as someone who performs for a living, and working and hoping to work more as an actor, where I'm like, I don't want to, like, that's my line. Unfortunately, guys, you're not going to see my balls on screen. Okay. And I'm drawing that in the sand right now. And some people might look at me and say, Tristan, you're not going to make it as far as the guy who takes his pants off. Well, I'd argue I'd make it further. You want to raise your pants around the ankles way quicker. But that being said, my balls are my own and I refuse. Okay. If I'm on set and someone says, so we actually need to see your balls for this scene, I'll say, what about mentally? Maybe we, instead of showing it off, what if we just mentally show his nuts? Isn't that something? He's like, no, we literally need to see his balls. I go, what if we just see his emotional ball sack in this moment? And he really connects and we just understand his values and his core. Says, no, we need to see his physical balls. And I go, what about metaphorically? We metaphorically, we speak his balls into existence. And I'll go back and forth. All right. I'm drawing the line. That's who I am. I'm a no ball on camera kind of guy, and I'm not afraid to admit that. But we'll see. We'll see if that causes any problems for me in the future. Okay. At the very least, as good as AI is, okay, I would just need that. Okay. I don't want to use AI, but if I have to, sorry, computer, draw my balls. Put that on. Okay? Because, you know what? Figure it out. I don't feel like those are his balls. Stupid. I'm feeling good, man. Ouch. Dang, that's hot. Anyways, point is, movie was good. Movie was interesting. Performances, fantastic. Pacing was great in terms of like an actual cinematic experience. Loved it. Very interesting, very thought-provoking. I also would say, and I don't know how true this is, okay? I think I have to do more research, but I feel like movies, you go and watch a movie like Goodfellas, Heat, anything from like the 80s or 90s, darks and blacks used to look so much different. There was so much more like just a real contrast, like a night scene just felt like night. And I feel like since, I don't know, the mid-2000s to Twilight era, throwback to Robert Pattinson, however you spell it, there's been just kind of this, not just like green, but just these weird kind of, it's like a blue filter. It's stuff like sunglasses. We're just looking, and you can see all the details, and you can see everything, which you could argue is a better experience, but I feel like the night used to feel so much more, night felt a lot stronger. It felt like night, and this movie, it didn't go that far, but I just felt a little bit more of it, all right. And again, you got to look into it more, before you say things, but I have the microphone. I can do what I please, but, I want to see movies do more night, not more night, but more darker night. The Batman, throwback to Robert. Whoa, we're on fire. But anyways, very good, very interesting film. And you'd have to go out and ask a mother, and perhaps I should have, about dealing with the postpartum depression, because that's really the grandest overarching theme of it all. And that coupled with isolation and, poor husbandry. But it was a sad tale, that's probably pretty real for a lot of people. And, not only that, it's tough. Pregnancy, and I don't mean to just act like I've been there, but maybe this is me going too far, and maybe I'm just saying, but I think pregnancy is probably pretty difficult. Okay, and again, I don't mean to overreach. I know my place, and I haven't been there. Maybe it's not fair for me to say that, but pregnancy looks somewhat hard. It looks a little difficult. It looks a little straining. It looks a little tiresome, and it does suck that there's some sort of, postpartum depression you got to deal with, some baby blues. Like, oh, I just suffered for 9 months, physically, emotionally, mentally, pain, right? And now I'm sad? For what? For why? Tough, man. It's tough. Blame Eve, okay? Adam and Eve, it's their fault. She went to go pick the fruit right off the tree of good and evil. And she knew what she was doing, right? I mean, I don't know if she knew that all that was going to come to fruition, but it's a, you know what, we take the Lord's name in vain, but no one goes, oh my Eve, you know, like that's what I would be doing if I was in labor and everything was troublesome. I'd be like, oh Eve, why Eve, you know, because it's kind of her fault. And I often think about how long that knowledge stuck around for other women as they were giving birth, right? Because he's like, oh, I'll curse you with the trouble. This is not a good Lord impression, but he's like, well, you know, I told you not to. Here's the deal. Pregnancy is going to be unbearable. When you bear children, it's going to be unbearable. And I wonder how long that knowledge was around, where you're giving birth, you go, you freaking idiot. You have one job, one fruit, right? And you're like, oh, this sucks. And then they give birth, and they're like, oh, and now I'm sad too. Way to go. Eve. Oh, my Eve. So anyways, take Eve's name in vain. Bit of a tale for her. I also almost dumped popcorn all over somebody in the theater, which is kind of amusing. The lady was right in front of me, and I was trying to spin the bag of popcorn on my finger like it's a basketball. Problem is, popcorn doesn't like to spin, at least not in my experience. So I'm spinning it, and I'm doing okay. I'm an athlete. And it clips, right? Unbalanced. And I actually don't even know if something fell on her. All right. I'm a little, like, I'd be skeptical if she stood up and, you know, and she's sending tweets out right now that someone dumped popcorn all over her in the Time I Love theater. I wouldn't be shocked. But she was right in front of me. It would have went right down her shirt, just filled her collar, because I was spinning and went, and my whole life flashed before my eyes. It was awesome. Okay. There's a lot of good coming, but I thought we were going to have another Raisinets experience, because it's probably not good to dump stuff on people. Again, I don't want to go too far in saying that, because I've never had anything dumped on me. Maybe it's not fair for me to say that it's probably not great. It probably doesn't feel good to have candies or snacks or, you know, salted treats dumped all over you in the theater. But, you know, I didn't know what else to do. There was a sex scene on, and I didn't really feel like watching it, so I'm start playing with my food. You know me, guys, just having a time. What else is going on? A water break. What else is going on, man? Oh, real quick, I guess before we end, it is my mom and dad's anniversary. 32 years. Congratulations, mother and father. Genuinely, that is so impressive. Okay. I haven't been alive for 32 years. All right. And I don't know all the intricacies of marriage and the details of how to work through it and how to fight and how to make things, you know, there's compromise, there's commitment, there's love, there's support, there's care. I understand the older that I get, and the more that you attempt at finding anything like that, you go, wow, like how impressive is that? And it's one thing, I will say this, as a child, to know that your parents still love each other, but it's another thing. I see my parents laugh together more than anybody. Like, they are genuinely each other's best friends. They laugh to tears, okay? Sometimes more than I do with my own friends. And it's just such an admirable thing. And again, marriage, it's so impressive, dude. I would much rather go and celebrate an anniversary with somebody I don't even know. Okay, you made it 18 years. Oh my gosh, let's have cake. Let's have pie. Whatever you want. Okay, that's impressive. Then go and celebrate the birthday of someone else that I already know. Oh, you made it another year of life. Congratulations. So do we all. I've done that. I've never been married 32 years. It's impressive. So give it up for anybody, whether it's been 5, 10, 15, 30, 60. It's just, it's something that's so admirable. Again, the older that you get, the more that you understand time and that sort of the effort that it takes to be friends with somebody for that long. But I understand, and I'm grasping more and more the older that I get, how impressive and how just, you know, important and beautiful that really is. Especially in the world, we get closer and closer to this sort of instant gratification. As something's not working, bang. You feeling hungry? You click a button, it's at your door. You want a different video? Swipe up, it's there. You don't like somebody? Swipe up, it's there. It's a whole other quick world where we don't really fight, we don't really work, we don't really put a lot of effort into things. And it is so, again, I mean, there's some relationships you should move out of. But it's amazing, dude. It's so amazing. Again, give it up for anybody who's been married at all. Okay. And give it up for anybody who's divorced someone. It doesn't work. It just completely backtracks my whole point. But congratulations. And if there's anything else I'm forgetting, I don't know, but I love you, Mom and Dad. That's incredible. What else was I going to say? I already forgot it because I went on a genuine tangent. I don't know. They're making the Moana remake. Why? I don't know. I don't know if that's really interesting, though. I'm just kind of bummed out about it. Why? Why are you doing that? What's the deal with it, dude? Moana, speaking of just freaking not putting in work, Moana is a Disney movie that came out not even 10 years ago, I don't think. And you're already making a live-action remake. I love tales. I love storytelling. I don't like when you do the same thing over and over and over again. Is that it's just, I want movies to fail. Do something new. Try something new. Be creative. Like, put your best foot forward. Don't put the same foot forward. You've already taken that step, man. It's time to live a little bit. So I don't know. And why go pay for it too? I know how this goes. It's like a shot for shot remake. I think I had the same gripe. I think I might have already talked about it on the podcast with How to Train Your Dragon, but just stop remaking movies. And you don't even need to make sequels. Okay, if you really advance it, you really tell the tale, sure, fine, great, Grant, go for it. But I don't know. There's not a lot of like innovative or compelling storytelling. And if there is, they feel like they gotta put a lot of sex scenes in it. Show your balls, please. Don't cut that. But I will say that it's lame. So, anyways, guys, I think that's pretty much all I have to talk about if we use today. I hope you're having a beautiful week. I hope you guys are feeling healthy. I hope you're feeling on top of the world, man. And is there anything else that is necessary to say? I was going to say Happy Thanksgiving, but I might just do the Thanksgiving episode and release it early. For funsies. Why? Because I can. That's the beauty and the essence of me. We live life. We live love. We live laugh. Live that. So, guys, happy to be here with you. Happy to spend time with you. I'm happy that I'm feeling great and on fire. I'm glad that I could kind of shift gears a little bit and truly shift back into second, because that was not second. That was infinity. And I don't want to get ticketed. So, again, love you. Thanks for tuning in. And have a wonderful week. I'll see ya. Santa, why would you sit in my love?